Let's get physical. It's Jordan here, back again with this week's update and all the physical releases coming to the Switch. We're in the 4th week of September, September 21 until the 25th. Retail, low print and imports, plus our community spotlight where you show off your pickups and potentially win a physical Switch game. This month is Super Trench Attack, the cute funny game from Pixel Heart. This will be given away next week. And as a bonus, we'll be having a bonus giveaway of Geo Rifters from Leoful that I will mention a little bit later on. There are 2 download codes up for grabs, so stay tuned to find out how you can win one of those. And also a big thank you for all your kind words last week as the series marked its 1st anniversary. It really boosted my spirits and made me realize that growth, isn't the end of the world when I already have your fantastic support. That's what really matters. Alright, let's take a look at this week. PGA Tour 2K21 is finally getting its Switch physical release this week after it was delayed. Supposedly the best golf game the system has to offer, even though it may be lacking in certain content such as real players and courses from around the world. Still, you're not going to find a better game of proper golf on the system than this one. Adam's Venture is supposedly a crap attempt at cashing in on an Uncharted-like adventure. I mean, you look at the screenshots and think, yeah, this looks pretty badass, but actually, it isn't so good and apparently is super rough on the Switch. Big Bobby Car, The Big Race, is the game to end all games. Whiz across the world full of adventure in this open world racing game. Burnout Paradise, this is not. I don't know who Big Bobby is, but I can't imagine this one lighting up your Switch's console unless you're picking out a game for your kids. I believe this is for Europe only at the minute. Big Bobby, more like Big Bobbins. Winter sports games, 6 winter disciplines for 1 to 4 players: ski jumping, slalom, downhill, bobsleigh, tobogganing and curling, all a load of bobbins. A Funbox Media special right here. Once again, this looks to be Europe only at the minute. I'm sure the American people will tell them to, just leave it there. Trollhunters, Defenders of Arcadia, has the cheek to use the word Arcadia without being related to Skies of Arcadia. That's a criminal offense in my book. Anyways, this is a licensed tie-in to a DreamWorks TV show or something 2 years after it was cancelled. Timely. Now, this is published by Outright Games, which usually means it's a bit of guff that struggles with optimization on the Switch. But the sliver of hope is that apparently it's being developed by WayForward, famous for Shantae. They've done some half-decent licensed stuff in the past, but they've also phoned it in on more than a few occasions, so we'll have to see on this one. Alright, let's jump into the low prints. During the mini Partners Direct, one of the biggest surprises was that of the second Ori game coming to Switch. Yes, the seeming impossible port has made it, but even better, physical copies of both games are coming. Now, this is going to be a standard retail release at some point, but on the I Am 8-Bit website, they do have a very special collector's edition that won't be around for too long. Both games in one package, plus lots of other goodies presented in a wonderful, beautiful package. It is absolutely stunning. It's also crazily expensive. Personally, the price is a bit much. I'll wait for the standard retail releases. And Dane Wilkinson, Gannicus, God of Resin, and Brent McLean have picked Ori 1 and 2 as their pick of the week. Boom. One Print Games have finally unveiled their 3rd release, Death Squared. Yes, this is a well-received puzzle co-op game that's been on the cards for a physical release for a while. This limited edition, available only on oneprintgames.com, has only 1,500 units and includes some goodies like an acrylic keychain, manual, card, and sticker. I think due to the low number and wording of the description, I'm pretty sure that this is going to be available in a non-collector's edition on websites, probably ending up on PlayAsia, I would assume, like Kero Blaster did. Still, this is a fun game and not unreasonably priced for the game that you're getting. Supposedly fully up to date too, with all the added content that the digital version got. Very nice. Doom 64 is a pretty epic physical release from Limited Run. Yes, they get all the good stuff. This is obviously going to be the first in a long line of Doom games coming from them in the future. An interesting one to start with. You'd have thought that they'd start with the original, but who knows, maybe Bethesda still plan on updating that with even more content. I think 64 is pretty much done, right? Anyways, this is available at the kind of low price, $25, which I think is reasonable if you live in the US. Yeah, no dunking on Limited Run this week. I was tempted though. I mean, the game's like only $5 to download. I will refrain. And this is Jonathan Rumor's pick of the week. Alright, let's jump into the imports this week. Just remember that if any take your fancy and you'd like to import them for yourself, then there are import links below in the description and the pinned comment as to where you can find them for yourself. It really does help support this little series, especially so very, very much. It wouldn't be what it is without you guys supporting it. So thank you for using our links. Really appreciate it. Plus, in return, you can get a very nice 5% off your order if you use the coupon code SwitchWatchTV while checking out. That's all one word, while checking out SwitchWatchTV. 5% off your order. Alright, Dungreed is an unusual one in quite a few aspects. Firstly, just to get it out of the way, this is a 2D side-scrolling action game with roguelite elements. The dungeon continuously evolves. It's a decent game for sure, no doubt about that. However, first, this was announced for the Switch by Nicholas many years ago, but still has not turned up digitally or physically. So it's probably possibly gonna get a physical release in the West at some point. Maybe. Secondly, the Japanese eShop says that this game does not have English. What? However, PlayAsia says it does have English. The trailer says it does have English. The publisher themselves emailed me saying that it does have English. So I'm a little bit confused why the eShop says it does not. Anyways, I'm half and half on this one. Do I want for a mythical Western release, or do I go for the Japanese physical, which, you know, contradictory as to whether it has English or not? I don't know. We'll have to see on this one. MEIJI, KATSUGEKI, HAIKARA, RYUUSEIGUMI, SEIBAI, SHIMASEU, YONAOSHI, KAGYOU. It started so well. Is a visual novel, an otome. Sadly, there's no English. ISSHO ni ASOBO, KOUPEN-CHAN is a cutesy-looking simulation party game starring penguins. How can you possibly say no to that? Well, there's no English, so that's why you can say no. KONOSUBA, God's blessing on this wonderful world. Love for this tempting attire. I believe this is a different KONOSUBA game than the one that released not too long ago, and as far as I know, there is no English, which is a damn shame. Alright, before we get into the community spotlight, we're gonna do an extra giveaway like I mentioned in the intro. I like to do this once in a while. Last week I reviewed GeoRifters and I found it to be a decently fun puzzle platformer game. Check out that video. But anyways, the publisher got in touch saying that they'd like to give away 2 download codes for the game to give to you guys. So yeah, 2 of you can win GeoRifters. Give it a try and see the fun that it has. If you want a chance of winning one of these codes, head over to Twitter at the end of the video, of course. There's a link in the description below. All you have to do is follow me on Twitter if you don't already. Follow Leoful. They're an upcoming publisher and publisher of GeoRifters. You'll definitely want to keep an eye out on those. And finally, give that tweet a retweet. Just 3 things and you could be in with a chance of winning GeoRifters, a download code of your region of choice. Winners will be announced in next week's video. Just do it. You could win a nice game. Alright, let's jump into the Let's Get Physical community spotlight where you show off your pickups. If you're featured, then at the end of the month, you'll be in the draw to win a physical Switch game. This month's prize, as mentioned, is the nice but a little obscure Super Trench Attack from Pixel Heart. Many thanks to Pixel Heart for providing this prize for you guys. Next week, the winner will be announced for it. And be sure to check out Pixel Heart's website, they allowed us to do this giveaway, so, do them a favor, check out their wares, pixelheart.eu. Alright, what have I got? Well, since I have nothing particularly new and interesting to show this week, let's delve into another obscurity, Ancestors Legacy. This was a game I wasn't planning on getting, but, I'm a sucker for ordering more than one game together, just to save on postage. Ancestors Legacy is a pretty interesting title. It's a squad-based strategy game with a handful of nations in a medieval world. Fitting this on the Switch looks to be no mean feat. It has an interesting story, intense battles. This is a fine single-player strategy experience. Sadly, there's no multiplayer like the PC release, but you can't have everything. Perhaps that was a bit too much for the Switch to handle. Anyways, this is available physically just about everywhere now, in Asia, like my version, in North America, and Japan. All have English. Sadly, Europe does not have this physically yet. At least not yet. I think it was delayed until November or something like that, so you may want to import it if you can't wait. Alright, let's see what you lot have got. But a certain Italian plumber had a new release last week, so instead of repeating myself like 30 times, let's have a 3D AllStars roundup. Are you ready? Matthew Hutton, Count Kaiju, Martin Sudall, Raven Knight, Michael Wielczewski, Lord Vapor, Captain Slow, Mikhailson, Peter Clark, Visipon, Timidus, Mansfield Bear, God of Resin, Never Birth, Flyro, Chris Hepburn, Chucks Taylors, Jayton, Fluttershout, Boombox, Rorn, Streaming on the Corner, Craig Morgan, Faison, Spawn 7, Ty Whittle, and me. Alright, if you sent in Mario but you didn't feature there, it means, I've got more stuff to say about your picture. Rick C got in a couple of interesting games, including Big Pharma, which is certainly not a game we'll see often here. An interesting management type game set in the medical world. E-Rock Z showed off some very sought after games in the US. A good few of these fetch very high prices now over there, like Riser, Ease 8, and Disaster Report 4, many of them going way above the launch price. Derek Jenkins got his import boots on. Many thanks for using our links with these fine additions to his collection. Tomoyo After is a visual novel sequel to Clannad, exclusive to Japan right now, but does have English. The legendary Fight Crab, even Air Missions Hind, currently an exclusive to Japan. They also get in this bunch of more obscure stuff like Farmer's Dynasty and 1971. Nice. Jason Woodbury unlocked a collector's achievement by needing to buy a new shelf for this massive amount of Switch games. Plus, he wanted to show off these titles in particular. Very nice indeed. Shikification sent in these games some nice indie titles. Nice to see Crosscode in there. Pity Americans have to wait like half a month to get their hands on this fantastic title. Pity I can't find it here in China. Blue Burrito sent in this picture of Streets of Rage 4 Classic Edition from Limited Run. Have a feeling this was one of their biggest games ever, despite the small controversy surrounding it. Santa Tartaruga also got in there showing off this steel book, but can I just say I love that classic Zelda artwork on that book. It looks so good. Peter Clark sent in a few pictures. He was kind enough to use our links for Play Asia. Thank you very much for supporting us like that. Tomoyo, the visual novel, I do plan on getting this down the line when I also pull the trigger on Clannad. Streaming on the Corner sent in this exciting bunch. Nice bit of action all round here. Punky Dooster did what he does best, showing off inside his card case filled with some low print quality. I always appreciate that he opens his games with intent to play them. You won't see this dude with a sealed copy in sight. Matthew Hutton got in these, including the arcade version of Darius. I know I'm part of the problem, but looking back, I really wish they'd have had the consumer friendliness to have put all the games on one cartridge rather than two. Anaheim Rookie got in these releases some rather interesting titles. Splasher is one from Red Art Games. Super Trench Attack from Pixel Heart, which actually he got the number 1499. That's a pretty sweet number. Yo Daddy showed off these releases. The Japanese release of Celeste, far more accessible for non-Americans, I would say. I do plan on importing this one myself at some point. Robert showed off a few pictures, loving the fantastic imports of Dragon Quest Trilogy, the Coma Double Cut and RPG selection from Kemco. Love it. They also got in these as well as Moero Crystal H. I'm hoping mine comes through soon. Jim Wiley got in these games. The top two, well, the first is a classic on the left right there, but good to see My Memory of Us being sent out by Red Art Games. It's one of their latest releases. Retro Boy sent in this picture of some excellent games. Puyo Puyo Tetris is a classic, and I wonder what on earth they're going to do to build on it for the sequel. Dempsey sent in this picture. You don't see V Rally 4 too often. I don't know if it's a return to form for the series, but it's always nice to see a classic series come back, whether it's quality or not. Fluttershout sent in their photo of Moero Crystal H, nicely unboxed, looking very nice, especially the interior art, worth it for that alone. Thankfully, you can still get that, as there are still some standard editions left. No collector's editions like this one though, sadly. Chris Hepburn sent in this Yu-Gi-Oh game. I have to admit, I did have one of these as a kid on my PlayStation 2, and I had no idea what was going on. I couldn't not get past the first level. I don't understand Yu-Gi-Oh. Neverbirth also sent in these games, including the Play Asia exclusive Murder by Numbers. I'm still shocked that there's still some collector's editions left. It's really excellent value. Every week, there's always someone who raids NIS America's stockroom, and this time it's God of Resin with some really interesting titles. I still want a couple of these. Totally Simon also got in Murder by Numbers, plus a Big Daddy edition of Steins Gate Elite. That is massive. Also nice to see Broken Sword in there. I want it. Zellafield sent in this photo, not the first Bomberman we've seen. Was it on sale or something? Also, people who have Minecraft Dungeons. What is the download requirement? Most of the game or just the DLC? I'd like to know on that. Transient Image sent in these fantastic games, 2 quality titles, and a nice little controller from 8-Bit Do. I love those controllers. Captain Slow picked up this for a bit of a bargain price. 2 very nice games indeed. Child of Light is a classic. Marty Mar sent in this photo, including Hyrule Warriors. Is that in hype for the sequel? Also, RPG Maker. Have you all played our little RPG yet? It's Rain Time. What a lovely bunch. Inertial Drift. Apparently the US version was cancelled after all. You know, I still saw it on sale at Best Buy, which made me think that it was an exclusive, but yeah, apparently it is cancelled. Sorry for that. You may have to import it if you want it. Also, Holy Potatoes collection is finally out. How many times did I mention that like 6 months ago? Timid has sent in this picture of some fine games. World of Final Fantasy Maxima, an essential import in my opinion. Ron sent in this photo of some slightly more obscure titles. Remilo is a fun one, probably down to a decent price by now, I would think. And many people say good things about X-Morph Defense. Crap name, but supposedly a pretty good game. Alolan Jojo, thank you very much for using our Play Asia links, picking up Ace Angler, the English boxed version, including the incredibly badass controller that can be used for it. Looks so good. God of Resin got in the massive Missing Collector's Edition from a limited run, looking pretty sweet indeed, beautiful. Jonathan got in a massive haul. Seeing the Blair Witch Collector's Edition from Japan has reminded me I need to open mine and take a look inside. Chewit sent in this picture, including Super Rare's latest release, Freedom Finger. It's a pity they couldn't have, had the balls just to go with the middle finger for the front cover. No Face sent in 3 games, Helmet. I think you guys are just pranking me by this point, And finally, to end this week, we have Certified, who sent in these games from Limited Run, both of which you don't see very often at all, especially Bomb Chicken. Great game, but almost didn't register with people when it went up for order at Limited Run. Alright, thanks ladies and gents, always fantastic to see what you've got. Please send me your pictures over on Twitter at SoWhatAboutGame. You can DM me, or you can tag me in a post and use the hashtag Let's Get Physical. I'll give you a nice little retweet. Or you can email it into us at contactors@switchwatch.co.uk. Just make sure you start the email title with Community Spotlight so don't miss it. Or you can send it over on Discord, our nice little place where we can have a chat with you guys. Send your picture there in the submissions section. If you want to join our Discord, the link is below in the description. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of New Physicals. Special thanks to our executive producers, as always, Dane Wilkerson, God of Resin, Brent McLean, Jonathan Rumo, Gannicus, and all the others who have supported our memberships. We really appreciate you. Thank you ever so much. And you, yes, you watching right now, if you watched all the way here, what is it, like, I don't know, 15 minutes or something? Thank you. The longer you watch, the more YouTube will show it to other people. Alright, please check out last week's episode in case you missed that one. It's a pretty good one, I think. And we'll see you guys over there. Take care.